to start a new era, we have to close off the previous one. And that's what tonight's all about, the end of the Gen 2 era. This is the last time we are going to see the Gen 2 Holden ZB Commodore and Ford Mustang GT on track in Supercars ZZ, because tomorrow is the big day. iRacing releases the Gen 3 Supercars, and when we kick off our summer series in a couple of weeks' time, that is what we're going to be using here. I'm Shane White in the Broadcasting Lounge. Alongside me tonight is Corey Kitchen, and this is a very historic moment tonight, isn't it, Corey? Yeah, it is going to be absolutely epic, and here's a look at what we've got in store tonight. I reckon we couldn't have chosen much better location for the Gen 2 finale here. Mosport, a fan favourite among the drivers. I think among the viewers at home as well. This is a very popular track. We've seen some epic races here over the years. I remember a race between Darren Lobb and Rehan Lianagay where Rehan was trailing Darren on the last lap through the last section of corners, and Darren coughed coming out of the last corner, and Rehan stole the win. That was a classic moment here in the broadcasting lounge for me. But that's the track we've got, 3.1 kilometres, quite low altitude as well, sitting at just 340 metres above sea level, and we've got 19 degrees ambient temperature out there and 55% humidity. A little bit of a wind blowing at 14 kilometres an hour, but clear conditions, so that sun is going to be beating down on the track, making it a little bit toasty and slightly tricky for the guys out there.
Yeah, I'm in the house.
All right, we can hear Corey now. Thanks, Scotty Pickering, for letting us know that we couldn't hear Corey.
Woo. Yeah, you should have heard my speech. Wow, I put so much into that. But no, stay tuned for my eulogy for Gen 2. That is definitely going to be something to hang around for. And tonight, uh, what did I? Nobody heard anything I said. So yeah,
No.
18 and a 28 lapper race with an invert top 10. We're all jacked up on maple syrup, and this is going to be exciting.
It really is. And of course, we've got a championship to decide. Here's the standings going into tonight. So Bruce out front with a fairly comfortable lead, sitting at 670 points. Darren Lobb 566. So Bruce is 104 points clear at the top. But with two races, 70 points up for grabs for the winner in each. There's still 140 points up for grabs. So mathematically, Darren still a chance, but Bruce just has to score 40 points across the two races tonight. So you would think that realistically he's got it done, but anything can happen. If he doesn't finish both those races and Darren wins both races, then it's going to be Darren's championship.
Yeah, and that third place is pretty close too, with Michael Gunstone sitting on 483, and then if we drop back, Sean McNamara not that far behind on 451, and yeah, another 52 points back to Peter Vanderberg, and then there is a pack. Luke Allman, Div 1 rookie, I would say, almost if there was an award for it, would be rookie of the year.
Yeah, absolutely, it'd have to be, wouldn't he? And I can tell you that 11th place scores 41 points, 12th place scores 39 points. So if Bruce can finish in the top 11 in race 1 tonight, that will be enough. He'll have it wrapped up.
I see Luke Allman in the comments there. Evening all, no racing for me tonight. Haven't been feeling well. Yeah, a bit of that C word thing's been going around too, I think. So, yeah. Yes. But yeah, so stick around. So, my Gen 3, Gen 2 eulogy to come later on tonight. And we've got some cool prizes. Well, we're going to make up for last week with the gloves for Div 2 Shano, and this week we're going to give away the same sort of value, but 3 lucky drivers will get a Gen 3 car shouted. So we'll give them the iRacing $15 iRacing credit to get themselves a sweet new Mustang or sweet as Camaro. What's your flavour, Shano? What are you jumping in?
Oh, gotta be the Camaro.
Yeah. It's a little bit ugly. Like I just can't get around that. Yeah. The older Camaro, yep, give it to me every day of the week. But yeah, it's just not me.
Fair enough. I just, as a long-time Holden supporter in V8 Supercars, it only made sense to transition across to the new GM brand once Holden left. So yeah, I've gone across to back in the Camaro, and not that to be fair, I always said Mustang would probably be the only Ford I'd ever want to drive. Although I did own a Falcon, so I probably have to eat those words.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had a few Fords, but I've never owned a Holden. But I've never really sort of gotten into that Ford versus Holden battle. Never had a Falcon either. Actually, I have. I had a XF Falcon many years ago, but yeah, I was never really brought into that Ford versus Holden. You know, I sort of got a Toyota and I had a 4K and it used to rev its tits off and I loved it.
So you'll be pretty excited about 2027 then. 2026, sorry.
Yeah, I am. I am looking forward to the GR Supra jumping on board, and I hope to see heaps of teams jump on that. A 3-way battle is something we haven't had in the iRacing V8 world, so it's always been 1v1 as far as Ford versus something.
Yeah, I just hope we don't have to wait as long for that as we have had for the Gen 3 Mustang and Camaro. Hopefully with that process all nailed on, it'll just be a quick process to scan the Supra. At the end of the day, they run a standard chassis, so the only thing that's going to be different is the body shell and of course the engine. So hopefully it won't take them long to get that all processed through and into the sim once it's released in real life. We have got a qualifying session going on. Roger Forbert topping the charts, but just put it in the wall and has potentially given up on his qualifying by the look of that. So happy with that time. Sitting there 1:16.35. He's a tenth and a half clear of Michael Gunstone in second position, and Michael's out there trying to improve. Not exactly lining up the timing screens at the moment. Sean McNamara could be on a decent lap here.
Yeah, PB's in his first sequence through this lap. It's one of those tracks you want to get your flow on, like get into a groove and just try and hit your braking markers, and especially spots like that, finding your line and where to get as straight as possible before having to jam onto the brakes before this very heavy right-hand corner.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's got a bit of aero assistance from his teammate Leon Ware just in front of him, and this is the part of the track where that's really going to pay off. Big long straight up here. He's got Leon punching that hole in the air in front of him and just making it a little bit easier for his Mustang to get through, and Leon's going to jump out of the way and clear the way for his teammate there after giving him that tie.
No, Scott, just a couple of liveries for me, so nothing too stressful.
And Sean comes into the pits after getting the tow from Leon, so that obviously not transpiring. Dion de Graaf out there currently sitting in 4th on a 1:16.6, and I think he's just completed a lap and he's going to look to tow back to the pits. Jason Cossey got a couple of PB times there. He's actually just ramped that lap up and it's put him 12th on a 16.92, but looks like he might be pushing on for another one, so we'll stick with this.
Yeah, Darren Lobb doing the classic Darren Lobb, is he? And just going to run it off the back?
Yes, seems to be the case, so we'll see where he can get to. Obviously, got that big points margin to overhaul to Bruce. But we've seen him win plenty of races from the back, and even if he does make it to the front, it's still very much bull in Bruce's court as to being able to wrap up the title just with a P11 in the first race tonight. I kind of hope he does that so we don't have to be sitting there with the calculators going into race 2 to see what he needs to do in that one.
No, Bruce sitting sort of mid-pack too tonight, so his pace isn't completely on, and just in pit lane as well, so he looks to have maybe given up on the session, which only a few seconds left, so only a few cars on the timing tower.
Yeah, so Jason finished that lap, wasn't quite able to improve, and I'd forgotten about the fact that heat racing means that as soon as that time's up, that's it. No chance to finish your lap. So I was expecting guys to be able to come around and take the checkered flag, but that was not the case. So we're gridding for race 1, and we can have a look at the grid, roll through it, get through it a little bit quicker than we do with the GT3s because there's no formation lap. So Roger Forbert on pole from Roger Gunstone, Aaron Goodrick in third alongside Dion de Graaf, and then Quinn Wilson, Peter Vanderberg, Leon Ware and Sean McNamara rounding out the top 8. And then we can roll on back to Bruce Tannock in 9th from Chris Supasich, Eamon Young and Jason Cossey on row 6, John O'Gibson, Glenn Collinson, Blake Greenhall and Dan Nolan round out the top 16. Then we've got Cole Taylor, Steve Darren, Ross Watson, Darren Lobb off P20, he'll be looking to come through. Derek Lovegrove, Scott McKenzie, Trent Bennett, my name's there but I'm obviously not racing.
And Stefan Adams round the corner. He's basically on the final corner, Stefan Adams, so looks to be 24 starters for this race. This final Gen 3 couple of races tonight, Shane. We're going to start off with this 18 lapper and everybody's on the grid and the lights are going to be on any second.
Yeah, getting ready to go. Probably about half a minute before they will get that green flag.
Darren Lobb in the comments, he's just put there, Shano, let's go last for who the hell knows where. Good luck, everybody.
Well, good luck on that mission, Darren. And they are forming up on the staggered grid formation. A couple of the newer Australian tracks, like Winton and Sandown, we see them line up side by side as they do in real life. Mosport is one where it's a staggered grid, as most of the tracks are in iRacing, and we've got the lights up. We're ready to go for the final time with Gen 2. We're underway. Roger's got a good start. He's going to lead into turn 1. Down to Graaf challenging Aaron Goodrick on the outside there, and they all roll through. Looks like everybody going to get through cleanly. Rogers taking the lead. Dion looking to challenge Aaron Goodrick on the inside there, not able to do so. Coming down into turns 3 and 4 now and starting to wind their way through this opening lap. Sean McNamara making a move on the outside of Jason Cossey. He's going to have the inside now down into this next corner, but can Jason sweep around the outside? It's a very high speed corner. Jason sweeps around the outside and gets the inside for the hairpin. And now they sort themselves out through the slow double apex right-hander and then onto the straight. Good drafting going on. Michael Gunstone a little bit away from Roger Corbett at the moment. Aaron Goodrick's got down to Graff all over him, still looking to find a way around. He's going to look to go down the inside into the final S's, not able to get alongside. Able to back out of it before he made contact, and everybody filtering their way through there on the opening lap. Cole Taylor looks like he might have just been passed by Darren Lobb, but we're going to round out lap 1 with Aaron Goodrick in control. Currently sitting at just under a second clear of Michael Gunstone, and a nice wee margin there. A little bit of comfort, but certainly not enough to be able to back off.
Yeah, Roger Forbert out in the lead.
Did
you
I?
said Aaron Goodrick.
Did I?
Yeah.
I apologise for that.
Okay. That's what I heard anyway.
Well, yes, it is Roger Forbert out front. Apologies. I don't know why I said Aaron Goodrick if I did say Aaron Goodrick.
Yeah, so another thing we're going to do tonight, we've got three.
Dan Nolan 3 times sideways makes contact with Darren. And then Dan goes around, unfortunately. That was, just got the rears locked in there, couldn't quite pull it up. He'll probably be quite relieved that he didn't turn Darren around there. But he won't be happy that he's come a cropper there.
No, Darren up 5 spots in the first 2 laps. He's just about to complete his second on for the third. He's up into 15th, so started 20th, Darren. So he's a wee bit behind Blake Greenhall now, who's sitting way back from where we normally see him too. Having some steering wheel issues last week, maybe still haunting him this week, Shano?
Yeah, he wasn't entirely confident tonight that his steering wheel was going to hold out for the race. I hope it does. Cole Taylor's just had a bit of a moment running wide there, and that's made him vulnerable to Glenn Collinson, and Glenn is able to get around him there. And Steve Darren pretty close in behind as well, but Cole's going to look to see if he can find a way back around Glenn. He's putting the pressure on, there's a touch! Oh, that's going to cost Cole another couple of positions there. And Steve's been able to really capitalise and get ahead of Glenn Collinson and up to P16. So, confidence what's going to proceed there.
Yeah, the old head gets it done. That was a pretty good move.
I think Aaron Goodrick's had a wee issue out there. He's dropped back to P6. He was running third ahead of Dion DeGraaf earlier. Dion now putting the pressure on Michael Gunstone for P2. So the former Simdex Racing Team driver really looking to make progress in this one.
Yeah, look at him in his black Mustang.
Yeah, no sponsors on there. I think it was officially announced this week the end of Simdex Racing Team, which is a real shame because Simdex have been a great supporter of some of our special events in recent times and Piston Cup over the years as well, which is making its triumphant return. Made an informal return partway through this season and will be back in full force into the summer series. But yeah, Simdex, massive supporter of Supercars NZ, and Simdex Racing Team, while a slightly separate entity and just sponsored by Simdex, still been a massive presence around Supercars NZ for a number of years now, and it's a shame to see them go.
It is.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's always sad when you see a team that, especially that had got to the size that it had, quite a few drivers. But yeah, after 13 years staying through the service, I've seen them come and go, the teams, and some have lasted the whole time, and a lot of Aussie teams that used to be there yesteryear are all gone now, and there's all new names, and the next generation of sim racers are coming out of the woodwork now too. You know, the likes of Rehan, multiple winner for Supercars NZ, and there's some stats on that to come later too. And yeah, well, we're not too far off, halfway through this race, a few more laps to go. And they're going by quickly. The penultimate in Poo race. And what are you looking forward to the next season, Shane. There's been a few changes too with the GTE coming in.
Yeah, GTE, very exciting. That's obviously Thursday night, well, maybe not obvious to some people, but Thursday nights, for me and Doug, that's our baby. We've long looked after the GT3 series, and then we transitioned that a couple of seasons ago into the HPR series, bringing the GTPs in, as Quinn Wilson making a move there on Michael Gunstone. They're going to be side by side down into turn 1, and Bruce standing significant in behind as well. When I thought he was going to get the job done, Michael's trying to hang it around on the outside, and he might have just been able to do that, and that'll give him the inside into turn 2. But Quinn's just going to be able to sweep across into turn 2 there, and
Bruce
sneaks up the inside, taking advantage of Michael being a little unsettled. But Quinn's gone wide, he's locked up, and he's off the track, and he drops like a stone. Such a close battle pack there, and I think that was about 5 positions that he lost as a result of that mistake.
Darren Lobb and Chris Supsich getting into each other too, P12, P13. It's absolutely all go.
That's a nice switchback from Darren, and he gets down the inside, gets the job done, but Chris is going to get a slightly better exit out of the hairpin, and he'll get a bit of draft as well, which might give him an opportunity to come back at him. But I think he's just decided to back out of that one, recognises that that's probably not his fight, and just lets Darren go on with it. Bit of swapping around between Peter Vanderberg and Jason Cossey there, side by side through the final set of corners. Peter's going to be able to get ahead there, and Quinn was just sniffing around on his comeback trail, looking to see if he can take advantage, and just had to sit in behind. As Leon Ware goes side by side with Quinn Wilson now. Plenty of action all the way through this field. Quinn able to slide ahead on the inside of turn 2 there. Leon will tuck him behind. He's got his teammate Sean McNamara threatening, and he's got Johnny Gibson threatening on the back of him. This is such a tight battle pack, and this guy's nearly on it. Darren Lobb is going to have a hell of a time fighting his way through this lot.
Yeah, to keep in touch. So basically, if it finishes how it is here, it would be that'd be it, wouldn't it? That'd be Bruce Tanek to be the champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruce just needs to finish inside the top 11, even if Darren wins the race. That would be enough for Bruce to wrap it all up with one race to go.
Yeah, and with him leading here over Darren, that's looking increasingly, yeah, another trophy, well not trophy, but a championship will be, we've got 2 to, is there a team championship this season?
I remember there being talk of it, but I haven't actually seen any points on that, so I'm not too sure on that one.
Oh well. Anyway, well, there's three we're giving away this season, and we've already given away the Endurance Cup, and that was Peter Vanderberg ended up taking away that trophy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the end, that's right.
And yeah, so Bruce Tanek looking to hopefully wrap up the V8 Championship 1 championship tonight, and then we move on to Thursday, where we've got a GT3 and a GTP champion to find as well.
Yeah, and as we come back to HPR, I'll see if I can finish my thought earlier that got interrupted with all that action that went on. You asked me what I'm looking forward to, and I was talking about the end of the HPR series and transitioning over into GTE. So we made the call to call it quits on multi-class racing just because of the low numbers that we're seeing in GTP. And of course, coming into summer series, can be some lower turnouts, particularly over the next few weeks when we move into the Christmas and New Year period. So for that reason, we decided it wasn't on to run multi-class, and we've also had a lot of people show interest in GTEs. So we thought, you know what, it's summer, it's time to try something different. So we've announced that the GTEs are coming, and so far the news seems to be very well received. So looking like that's going to be an exciting moment. But as far as what I'm most excited about, I think I can't go past the introduction of the Gen 3s. That is going to be epic. I've been waiting for this, and yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, big update tonight. Everybody will be, there'll be people up at the crack of dawn. Some people are probably taking the day off tomorrow. Already planned a sickie. Oh, boss, I've got a bit of a headache. I'm going to be in tomorrow. And I can see new servers being up over the place. There's some people out there doing some testing and having a lot of fun. I can't wait, and that's going to be a couple of weeks away before the new season is out. And if you look on all the Supercars NZ socials, you'll be able to find yourself the way to get entered into next season. Everything's all out now. We know what we're doing. We've got Gen 3 on Monday, Tuesday. We've got GTEs on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And the Piston Cup returns for Friday, Saturdays. And the odd Sunday send it in the mix. Going to be a busy summer.
Yeah, so we might be coming into Christmas. We might be coming into the time where people go on holiday and go away and do their things, but the action never stops at Supercars NZ, racing at least 6 nights a week, up to 7 nights a week even. So that's all going to be going on. As someone's just snuck in the back door and broken into the beer fridge. I've caught him in the act trying to steal our beers and just cable tied him to the chair next to us. Doug Bickley.
Douglas Bickley. Oh,
Home from work. I'm happy to see that my good friends are in here covering what can only be described as the one of the best nights of racing we are ending on for our race season here at Gen 2.
that's right.
And what an awesome track too.
Yep, we're all jacked up on maple syrup. We've had our Red Bull, and we are getting rowdy here, nearing the end of the first heat race too. Well, not nearing the end, we've got 7 laps to go. Let's get excited because it's Gen 3 tomorrow.
I've got no objection to maple syrup or the fact that we've mixed it in with Red Bull, but did we really have to swap out the toilet paper for maple leaves?
It's authentic. It's the authentic Canadian experience, and I'm enjoying myself. Been some good racing so far, Doug. I don't know what you've missed, but Darren Lobb and Bruce Tannock were 104 points adrift at the start of this race, and all Bruce Tannock has to do is finish ahead of Darren in this race, and it's Bruce Tannock's championship for the Spring Series.
And Bruce making a move for P2 on Dion de Graaf here. He's going to try and go around the outside into the final letters. Dion holds him off. Probably just slowed him up a little bit through the second to last corner as well, but Bruce able to slip down the inside and...
Oh, lose a bit of traction.
Yeah, he got a bit loose there. That hurt his momentum, but he's going to have the inside for turn 1 and he'll get the job done. That's just allowed Roger Forbert to skip away fractionally as well, as that had been getting pretty tight. He's now got a 1.3 second margin back to Bruce Tannock, and he may slip back further because Dion is not prepared to give this up. Sends it down the inside.
Who's got traction? Bruce does.
Yeah, for a man that doesn't get traction, he is pretty good at getting traction.
That's right. If you're unsure as to what reference Corey is referring to there, just type in Bruce Tannock's name onto YouTube and Mag and Turbo Drifting New Zealand, and you'll find him with some cool videos. D1NZ Drifter.
And the comments rolling in on the chat. Stonesy. Darren is racing. Stonesy, he's actually up 14 spots into P6. And Nico's in there. Hey guys, g'day Nico. Yep, what a send off for Gen 2. Definitely is. And yeah, get in there. We've got some Gen 3 cars to give away tonight. Dougie, we're shouting 3 people a Gen 3 car. So they get the 15 iRacing cred.
I got the gist of that in the mail drop there earlier, and I reckon that is that's super exciting, and I hope that we are able to give that away to you know, some good folk, some folk who have, you know, I'm sure it'll be all done by the random wheels game. Is that right?
Yeah, but who to give away on the wheel? We got one that just is something that makes us go wow, like something that happened in the race. Hopefully that happens.
I'll definitely look out for a wow moment, but yeah, a couple of random wheels. Gen 3, hopefully hopefully the random wheel finds some of our long runners, long stayers, hard battlers, just all around good folk. And you know what? There could be anyone on that grid, because here at Supercars and Cars NZ, we're all about racing good buggers.
We absolutely are, and some good racing going on here. Michael Gunther and Peter Vanderberg going side by side through the final S's, and Darren Lobb just sniffing in there, getting involved. He's on the outside and just had to concede there, but he'll get a better run down the front straight. He's alongside Michael Gunstone now, and I think Michael's just lost a couple of spots and only a few corners there, so that won't be the most uplifting situation for him, but we knew Darren was going to be finding his way through, and we know the sort of pace that he's got, so probably not all that surprised to lose the spot to Darren.
No, and there's a pretty intensive battle pack just in behind these guys as well. It's there's a chain of fun, as I would say, and once again, you know, we've got these blistering guys out here cutting these laps, and it's almost you can almost pick out who manages to go along the Phoenix Driver development and do it, because it's picking the same apexes and changing the gears all at the same time.
Yeah, and we can look back from Quinn Wilson at Jason Cossey here as with the picture.
Yeah, that's like described it. The angry pack of cars. There's some jigsaws, there's some digital bargains. There's the Chris Zawalski.
Yep.
Hey, Glenn Collinson, is it? No, sorry. Who's on the Eamon Young, the other one in there too. But
It is. Yep, just behind Dawn and Leon there, the Jigsaw Racing team.
Oh, Jason's gone wide. Quinn momentarily was ahead on the live timing, but couldn't quite make it stick, and it's triggered a bit of a knock-on effect in behind. Johnny Gibson and Aaron Goodrick going side by side.
Oh, it's so intense and nail-biting. 3 laps to go in this first heat race tonight. Well, looking at these guys here, it's going to be really interesting seeing how the top 10 first grid goes.
Oh! It's Aaron Goodrick into the fence. Looks like
Leon?
Yes, Leon Weir involved as well.
yeah, something was going to go awry. I could see it happening.
I mean, yeah, we did. It was it's inevitable, I suppose. It is a very tricky track, a fun track, but still a tricky track, and it's not one that really often opens up the ability for passes to be had. So when you see one happening, it's usually pretty gamey. It's usually much off the line from the racing line as where you want to be, and there's a lot of off-cambered corners, especially like down through there. I'm sure Dane will be able to give us a cool bit of an on-board look at that maybe in the next race, just how technically challenging this track is for the drivers. Be probably a good one. Watching that with some of those boys making their way back up through the top 10, just how they try and pick their lines and pick their lanes through that second race.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can go back and have a look at what happened to Aaron there, and you can keep up with the live pictures on the picture-in-picture there. But here's what happened. So coming through that double apex right-hander, Aaron just getting loose, and unfortunately Leon just happened to be in his way while he was not completely in control of his car there, and yeah, just an unfortunate situation there really.
That's a bit of a bugger. Leon just became Uno Namiro Wall. number one.
Oh, and just as we go
Oh,
live, there's a bit of
oh,
contact between Quinn and
oh,
just. Oh no! Oh, Jason Cossey hard into the fence. There was contact with two different drivers there. It's fired him hard right, and
I reckon he's post.
yeah, I think he might have to tow there. I don't think the front right's entirely attached, and he has towed.
Well, the boys are certainly putting it all on the line tonight for the final race here in Gen 2. They've certainly got their machines dialed in and they're pushing it to their absolute limit. I certainly can't wait to see what Gen 3 does to the field, if it humbles them or if it brings everyone into a bit more of a in-line. That parity word comes to mind. Oh, I agree. It was just like a double clip, wasn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, so we got a bit of a side-by-side bump that unsettled him, and then, yeah, just unfortunately had another car. Didn't quite catch who the second car was. We'll run through that again.
I think it was Jono.
Yeah, it was too. So just coming across the nose of Jono after he got unsettled, and yeah,
either way, I think it still would have resulted in a wall contact. Just a different of whether it was going to be as heavy as the contact as what that was, but either way, probably some pinball action was going to be had.
Bruce gets it done. He gets it done as Shane clicks onto it, and this is the final lap, and he's got it done on the final lap to get past Roger Forbert and up 8 spots.
Having an awesome season as well.
And Roger's chance is not over just yet. He'll get the good draft up here. He's going to think about the move down here. Not quite able to do it, but did he do enough to just make Bruce a little bit unsettled into there? I don't think he did. And looks like Bruce is going to do enough to hold on. Gets it stepping out across the line, and he'll wrap it up and finishing in style. Bruce Tannock takes the win. Roger Forbett coming home in second. Down to Graff rounding out the podium. Darren Lobb just missing out on the podium in fourth, but he'll have another race to fight back. But of course, Bruce Tannock, he only needed to finish in the top 11 to wrap it up, and he's gone and won it. So congratulations, Bruce Tannock. Provisionally, of course, because there could still be points penalties post-race, but provisionally, Bruce Tannock, our final Gen 2 Supercars champion at Supercars NZ.
And well deserved, the great white shark. He's that's probably, consistency is key. Getting along to all the races and having race pace that's rivaling everyone else is certainly a key to making sure that you stick towards the front of that field and keeping up on top of the pointy end of the points. And so yeah, well done to Bruce, and yeah, let's see what happens during the next race. But we've said it a million times. Let's see what happens with these boys in a few short weeks as we roll into our summer series and welcome to the field an all new Gen 3 format.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are.
Somebody needs to tell these drivers I want lid skids and I want them now.
We have got a 5-minute warm-up. Is somebody able to give me any data on the number of finishes that we had in that first race, and we might be able to get the first winning wheel up there?
Alright, I can tell you. 20. Oh, did Jason Cossey finish in the end? It was last lap. You classify him or not?
I would say Jason and Leon both got across.
Yeah.
So I would say 22.
Yeah, 22. Let's go with that.
All right.
And of course, you've got to be in the chat to take this. So if your name comes up, you got to make it aware in the chat that you've seen that you've won it. Otherwise, we're just going to do it again. the end of the race.
It's gone a little bit different as I just shuffle them up here. Apparently I can't shuffle it that it's in that view, but anyway, there it is. And what do we got? What do we got?
Number one. One.
Number
One.
11, P11. So who came home in 11th?
So
Chris
spot number
Zapasich.
11 tonight, Chris Zapasich.
Chris Zapasich. Very nice. I don't think
He's
we.
going to be in the comments, does he?
Well, I don't think for this one it's fair to expect them to be in the comments. They're preparing for a second race.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Might have gone wee.
yeah, we'll say Chris has it. But yeah, certainly for the second one, I think we're requiring them to be in the comments, and I think we'll just keep a note. Oh, well, obviously we have to make a note that Chris has won that, so we can make sure the prize gets out to him. But also, I think we just make a note to remove his finishing position from the second one, just to make sure that everything's not going to one person.
Why can't he have two cars? He could
Well,
have his
he could have the Mustang and the Camaro.
That's right. He could take someone else's ready to go car and just have it completely parked, never to use.
Alright, so what have we got? A couple of minutes remaining in the warm-up. Nobody out there doing laps at the moment. Although we have got, I think that was Michael Gunstone heading out of pit lane. Or heading back into pit lane, going up on the jacks.
Okay. Hey, now, something that I saw pop up this afternoon was next season's sign-up form.
Yes, absolutely. That's up on Facebook. So head to Facebook, look up Supercars NZ Community. That'll take you to the community page. If you're not a member of that, sign up to it while you're there. But look at the featured posts at the top, and the first one there should be our 2024-25 Summer Series sign-up form. And if you want to get involved in racing some Gen 3 V8s, you absolutely want to make sure that you fill in that form, get yourself registered. You can even register for a whole year now if you want to, so if you don't want to fill in the registration every 12 weeks, fill it in once, pay your $60 and you're good for a year.
That's really awesome, isn't it? Making it a little bit easier, and that's not limited to now. That year sub can be at any time. So if you're holding on to some of those Christmas dollars, we certainly won't hold it against you. But certainly come the new season, that option for the annual buyout will be there also. So don't think that this is the only opportunity to jump on that bandwagon. That'll be open for any of our registrations. Just make sure that you remember that you have paid annually and that you don't go and give us some free money come the next season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say also, Shane, there was also a wee teaser about another aspect of racing coming up shortly with Supercars NZ, with the announcement of Gen 3 also.
Are you referring to the GTEs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a teaser now. I think it's out. We're racing GTEs. We've got more to be announced in terms of race formats.
Yep.
We do have a race about to go. We'll just quickly have a look at, we'll just roll through the top 8 on this one because we are a bit short on time with the shorter grading period. So Eamon Young, Johnny Gibson on the front row, Sean McNamara and Quinn Wilson behind, Michael Gunstone from Peter Vanderberg, and then Darren Lobb and Dion de Graaf. It is the reverse top 10 from race 1. We might have time to just roll back to here. We can see Roger Forbert and Bruce Tannock back to 9th and 10th with the reverse top 10, and then Chris Zapasich, Glenn Collison, Scott McKenzie, Derek Lovegrove, Cole Taylor and Ross Watson rounding out the top 16, and we are about to go racing. The lights are coming up, the revs are building. This is the final race of Gen 2. Big wheel spin from Michael Gunstone. He's going to drop into the pack. Down to Graf, already making good progress up to P6.
We've got a couple of guys starting from pit lane as well, mate.
Yeah, that does look to be the case. And Bruce Tanner also making good progress up a couple of spots early on and already putting the pressure on Michael Gunstone with that slow start. But Eamon Young's been able to control the race from the front row and open up a good wee margin back to Sean McNamara, who's up one spot. That's Quinn Wilson. Quinn Wilson hard into the fence. Getting back on track now. It looks like he might have got away without too much damage. He went into the tyres, and the softer tyres might have been a saving grace, although as he comes around there is a bit more damage to that side of the car.
Stefan Adams around, Leon Weir around, digital guys off the track. There's going to be a lot to break down on the replay shortly just to find out what happened down there at the bottom of the hill flex there. Oh, sorry, Steve Darren, not Leon. Apologies.
Yeah, I was looking for Leon's name and then I realised it was Steve's name that was dropping back in the pack, so he was the jigsaw car involved in that. But it's going to be Eamon Young controlling the opening lap. But Sean's been able to pull it back to just half a second now, and he's going to be looking to pile some pressure on. Down to Graf, amazing progress on the opening lap, up 4 spots to P4 and already putting pressure on Peter Vanderberg for third.
Oh, it's going to get hairy on the outside there.
It is. Don't want to be on that dirty line. He's been able to stay there though, and it'll give him the inside for this one. And he gets the job done, up to third already. That is a ripper start for Dion.
Certainly is. Maybe that would be a good one to have a look on the onboard, is from Dion's perspective as he chases down these two guys at the front, and give the people at home a bit of a rundown from the lap coming across the start finish line. Still under pressure from Peter Vanderberg, who will stay there at the minute while he's sitting in the draft. So covering there, coming down, going to make Pete work hard if he'll consider going around the outside, which is not impossible. It'll set you up for the inside, run down into there. You've got to close that off pretty quickly because it becomes an outsider again coming across the start finish line. But Sean and Evan going toe-to-toe at the front. Sean maybe making a sneak down, has made that move work, so change of position for the lead. McNamara up to P1, Evan Young, P2 Dion Graf there, closing in on P3 and looking to want to take a few more spots.
Ooh, yeah. We're nearly done. This is it, the last Gen 2 race for Supercars NZ on the main event Tuesday night.
Yeah, just a simple 25 laps to go as we farewell our Gen 2 race car in the main series. It's not to say that they won't be featuring a race from time to time, but this will certainly be as far as today goes. The front pack is well and truly bringing forth a battle that I knew was going to be happening. We've seen how demanding they were at trying to race each other during that first period.
Oh, and Roger Forbert just runs wide there.
Track smoothly. A little bit of a hold up for a couple of guys, but he's back under steam now. He's still dropping another spot there. So he's got the gas pedal and traction thing sorted again. Back underway, and just in behind them the Jigsaw boys racing each other pretty hard there also.
Yeah, plenty going on at the moment.
I reckon the boys are just out there having a ton of fun tonight, but that would be what I'm hoping, is that they're out there having an absolute ball of a time as Darren Lobb gets just was about to get round one of the Jigsaw cars. And, just
not sure about that rejoin.
He was a bit loose there and tried to stay under it. He's unfortunately whacked into the side of Cole Taylor there, sending him around. it's unfortunate. Cole's been having a really good run since coming back a couple of weeks ago to the racing side of things. Cole's car not looking too good now, a bit bent up at the rear.
Dion de Graaf takes the lead, and I just want to go back and have a look at the start from his perspective as well. Once again, you can keep up with the live racing on the picture-in-picture, but this is going to be the start of the race from on board with Dion de Graaf, and I think this is going to be a very interesting watch. Starting in 8th. And he walks it away off the grid there. He sees Gunstone going slowly ahead, slides by him. Thought about firing it down the inside of Peter Vanderberg there, but just thought better of it. So it's going to be a little bit later on the lap that we really see him making that progress.
Seriously, whoever I'm clicking on is crashing at the moment.
Oh no.
If you caught that all live, there was 2 crashes in a row. A couple of jigsaw cars have dropped down the field. And yeah, there's a little to unpack there after you've finished it.
Dan Nolan being one of those.
So we saw Dion taking advantage of Quinn Wilson firing off to the left on the opening lap there, and then he had another car going slowly off the back of that, and he's just set it in behind Peter Vanderberg. So he hasn't actually made too many moves, just taking advantage of other people's misfortune, and then this is going to be where he gets the draft on Peter Vanderberg. Look how rapidly he closes in, pulls out. He'll give it a bit of a side draft as well to push that air back onto the rear wing of Peter, and then sweeps around the outside, and then that gives him the inside. Actually, I don't think he even quite got the job done at this point, but it's going to be on the exit of the final corner.
Wow.
Gets the better drive.
Chopping and changing. And while all this is happening on the replay on the big screen, we've got Dion's been repassed by Sean McNamara, dropping back to spot number 2 in our picture-in-picture, and he's certainly not happy about it. He's pushing his Mustang to the absolute limit at the moment, trying to find any way to be able to round McNamara up.
Yeah, and that's what the first lap and a bit looked like for Dion, and we can go back to the live pictures outside the car as well now, and yeah, Dion.
The draft is what he had, we watched on the replay before with Peter Vanderberg, but this time sending it around the outside, which will come the inside line. And Macca has to hold on to his P's and Q's, seems a little bit wider.
Oh,
That is bit of a bump and run in the middle section there, and right amongst all of that now, the Great White Shark finds himself into spot number 4, coming up from spot number 10, and while these guys are all going hammer and toe, allowed Emin Young to jump past them and up into spot number 1. So all in the space of about 4 laps, I think we've had 4 different lead cars.
yeah,
Currently, the top 8 cars are within 2 seconds on track.
Oh, Dion! Got hit from behind, sent into the gravel, tries to drive it out of there, but can't get the turn to get around the concrete barrier, so he's going to back it up.
Oh, he will be fuming at that, absolutely fuming. Not a bad rejoin, he's kept it off the racing line. That car's going to be quite warm now to go around a few of these corners. So take a breath there, Dion. He calibrated himself. That's, if you have a look at the from the car behind him, you can see there is the unmistakable shove mark in the back of his rear bumper.
Oh, and it was Bruce Tannock. Yeah, that's... Ooh.
There's been dramas between those two in the past as well, so yeah, no, Dion will be happy about that, and he's actually driving through the pit lane here now, so he may have, as he went and had that contact with the wall, taken on a bit of damage to that front wheel. This race allow for a stop for any fuel.
Luke Ullman
Yeah,
may
so-
have given us the answer in the comments here. Luke Ullman reckons 2.7 a lap. and basically 23 laps worth of fuel, he reckons. So
Okay.
28 lap race, they might have to get a splash to get home.
Alright.
Yeah, the talk in Discord pre-race was about 10 litres required, so probably a little bit too much to try and save. So most guys, and even Blake Greenhall said, I don't think you're going to be able to save it. And if he doesn't think you're going to be able to save it, you're not going to be able to save it. So most likely we're expecting to see pit stops from the guys. So I think that's why Dion's just taking the opportunity to get in after that incident, get the fast repair, get the pit stop out of the way, and push on with the race from there.
But
There's
just
been a
looking at
few
it
cars
here,
going away.
so Scott Pickering has made mention that it looks like there might be a variable number for the second race. I'm not too sure, but I'm looking at a 60% fuel load for the cars.
Yep, 60%. There can't be any variation between races, so you have to pick a number for the server, and that's what they get for both races. So it was 60% for both races. We did have some other action from the early stages to unpick as well. So we had the Quinn Wilson moment, and we can see he's side by side with Jono. Oh, bit of net code there, I think. There was a little bit of air gap between the cars, and it's, yeah, server's read his contact, and it's fired him hard right into the tyres. Hard left into the tyres, sorry.
Bruce getting it done to get into P2 there with Sean McNamara on the outside.
The wiggle. Mac is still actually just ahead of him. So Bruce coming down to the braking point and just gliding towards the middle there has allowed him to push his nose into spot number 2.
And then we had a big mess down at the hairpin on that one as well. So we can have a look at that. So Stefan Adams, Ross Watson going sideways big time. Don't think he was actually part of it. Stefan Adams, contact from Jason Cossey.
Right,
There
then
might have been a
Jason
couple of,
trying to redress that.
potentially a couple of separate incidents, because I don't see where Steve got involved in that. So we do have data on Steve Darren going off track as well. So he's, I think, been caught up with Ross Watson here having that moment, and they're side by side into here, and there's a little bit of a touch there and just losing it. So it was a lot of mess, a couple of separate incidents, and with all that tight first lap action just resulted in a very tricky situation for everybody to pick their way through.
Steve, though, with a great recovery, up 12 spots into P12. So Steve, after that early first lap incident, has done a magnificent recovery. Pit lane, getting busy.
Now, something else that I saw the other day bring on season 1 of 2025 for iRacing was the old debris on the track will be has had some algorithm changes and some graphical updates and bits and pieces, and so now when our cars go off into the sand and then come back onto the track, or if they go and do some whirly birds on the corner on the grass and the come back onto the track, they're going to bring all those stones and grass and dirt onto the track with them, and that's going to stick around. So it's going to make racing just that little bit more realistic, a little bit more tedious for the guys as they try to pick and choose their lines around the track. So you see people be going off on certain corners, and I find some people very quickly changing their driving lines coming into corners to avoid going through all that garbage. The tyres are going to be picking up rubber on the outside lines and making things all a bit more harder. It'll be interesting to see if that also has a physical feeling through the car, like the old wobble on the tyres when you go and look at a big piece of melted rubber and you feel like you've got a bit of a flat tyre or something going on. But yeah, iRacing not only bringing us some new cars and new tracks, but also some new tech, just to make that racing just feel a little bit more exciting, a little bit more challenging, and make it a bit more realistic in real life.
Yeah, there was a bit of chat about that pre-race as well, and there was the question raised about whether potentially in qualifying somebody might be able to do a little bit of a Cam Waters and run wide on the in-lap over the top of the mountain and drag the gravel back onto the track to affect the next person's lap.
Yeah, it's funny how things from the real life world very soon quickly becomes a, I would say, planned strategy for.
I hope it's not going to be a planned strategy, but I think you'd be very naive to suggest that it won't be a planned strategy from anybody.
Oh, there we go.
And actually, you mentioned you referenced the old Debris incident there as well. That's very
Yes.
topical if you're an Apex Hunters United fan. The inside scoop was revealed by Dr. Ryan Story. Apparently, there was not a lot of awareness about what was going on, and he took full responsibility for that. And that was a very cool interview. If you go and listen to the latest Apex Hunters United podcast.
Well, they've certainly been tapping into a few of the speculations and the unknowns, or confirming what was known but unknown via the chatting with a few of those drivers from the supercars scene. So it's
been quite refreshing, because
I think a lot of that has been hampered down of late, especially probably for the last, I don't know, say nearly a decade. The drivers have been told to watch their P's and Q's and to not have thoughts or feelings anymore, and they're not allowed to certainly talk about things in ill light, and hence why we've seen in the last probably the last 10 years some really good drivers moving on into other areas, because they feel like that side of the racing has become too controlled and doesn't highlight a lot of the issues hovering around in the background. So it's cool that these guys have now been able to finally get that stuff off their shoulders, and hopefully that allows them to keep moving forward as the great racing drivers that they are.
Absolutely, and we've got some great racing drivers out there tonight doing their thing and cycling through the pits, a lot of the guys at the moment. So we've got, looks like Bruce
halfway
Tanner.
through.
Yeah, Bruce Tanner looks like leader of the guys that have pitted. I can bring up the pit stop data. Just a weird anomaly there, it says one stop next to Darren Lobb's name. That's because he started from the pits, that registers as a stop there. So more than likely we would expect him to need to be in for fuel at some point. And was that Aaron Goodrick, I saw? No, he started from pit lane. Oh, this is...
Oh, that was...
Oh my god! Oh!
Oh, yellow.
Yellow flag moment. Someone throw the yellow flag.
Oh my god!
Corey, get out there, become a safety car.
Oh, I'm only watching.
Me too.
Oh,
This is Canada. Oh, this is still... Oh.
what
A bit to
happened
unpack
there?
A bit to unpack there.
I still can't work out who the car I saw going wide was, because I thought it looked like Aaron Goodrick's car, but I clicked on Aaron, and that's what put me onto that mess. I suppose it was not much further on the track, so maybe it was triggered by Aaron going off in the first place. Oh, sure.
Hang on. Yeah, no.
And he's going to tow it.
That's done for the night.
One last time for Gen 3.
Thanks, Corey. That was great. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, that wall got plowed.
Alright, so I have a feeling I may have found the start point. So, Aaron Goodrick, I'm sure it was his car I saw running wide.
Yep. I thought it was too, and there was a lot of congestion in behind him.
Yep, so there it is. Aaron goes wide. Comes back onto the track.
Everyone's checking out because they're worried about where he's coming in from.
Oh, just an absolute mess. So much to try and unpack there if you're going to come up with anybody to blame. But I don't think you can. I think it just comes down to a racing incident. I don't think there was anything wrong with Aaron's rejoin.
Could you give us a bit of a look, maybe, like a chopper view from Macca's point of view, building up to that moment?
We should be able to do that. We'll probably want to go a bit earlier, so I'll tell you what, we'll...
go again Aaron's view and then click on Macca.
Yeah, we'll try that. So... we're going to see Aaron running wide up ahead. Oh, and there was a bit of contact between... So it's a couple of things going on. There's the contact between Sean and Aaron. Sean not wanting to go on with that redress, and then the rejoining Aaron Goodrich, and sorry, it was Sean and one of the Misfits cars, not Aaron, was the initial contact there, but a couple of separate incidents combining to just create absolute chaos there on the run up the straight.
Wow. Well, you saw it here first, you saw it here last. Lap 15, Gen 2. It's been a pleasure. Bring on Gen 3.
So Roger Forbear currently fighting with Darren Lobb over P2. Roger has been in for a pit stop. Darren's come in and got fuel as well. So the field is cleansed. Everybody's made at least one stop in this race now.
So,
Yeah, we're going to burn all these cars at the end of this, you notice. So.
Now that was interesting. That move. I don't know if you can bring it up the pass, Darren on Roger there as a bit of a replay. And just wanted to point out that section of track that he's coming through. So he lines him up here, and he just moves. That racing line goes out to the side, and then it turns. And you can see all there where the traditional black part of the rubber is. So where Darren essentially made that move, there's going to be a lot of rubber fall away on that section of the track. So I'm really keen to see this new update from iRacing, as we're talking before about the tyre rubber sitting out there and being picked up by the tyres, and just that dirt, mud and stone accumulation and bits and pieces, because I reckon passes like that are soon going to be a thing of the past. It's going to take a number of laps of people trying to do things in those sections to clear that, clear away that rubber and build up to be able to make those things happen, or they're just going to have to pick a different area which has got less, because those high speed corners, they're putting a lot of strain on those tyres, and it's going to be really dirty out there.
Yeah, it's a fair point, and Jono was able to make a move right around the outside of Stefan Adams in that same place, and maybe it has dirtied up the tyres a little bit because he's struggled to get the power down out of the hairpin. But I think your point is with the new update, you might not have the grip through that section on the outside to be able to put a move on.
Correct. And even like I'm hoping they've gone to the point where there can be a bit of a physical feeling, maybe a bit of a wobble bubble through the tyres when it's picked up that rubber. If you are venturing out there, that'll make the drivers think and feel different emotions around their driving, and when they're choosing to make those passes. If they want a nice smooth feeling car, they stick to the status quo. If they're gamey and they know they're going to be out there picking up those potential things, bring on all the updates for us iRacing. We'll gladly take on any level of realism that you want to give us, including
Oh,
heavy
that's
amounts.
tight.
Wow, that was so close. I was going to say iRacing, even if you wanted to give us some big amounts of cash injections directly into our bank account so we can go real life racing, we take that one too.
That'd be fantastic. But the debris refresh almost feels like an extension of the weather system, doesn't it? Because we know the work they put into that and the realism of having to find different lines, driving different parts of the track to get off the slippery rubber when it, you know, the rain settles on the rubber and it becomes more slippery, and you have to find those alternate lines to find the grip. It's a little bit similar with the debris refresh, where you are in dry conditions, but you've got, I guess, outside influences affecting the grip level on the track there.
100%. And we saw it when the rain development came through, that there was, you know, that wasn't just limited to the track. That those areas of surface flooding and accumulation of water was not just on the black stuff. It was on the edges and in the green area zones as well. So hence, agree with what you're saying there. It seems like a bit of a refresh on the weather update. So those areas where they're going to be naturally full of water and a bit more puddly and stuff like that are obviously probably going to be made that much more harder to be able to get through. Just finding that traction and how much water waste and mud gets flicked up. So now I've just caught a wee incident out the corner of my eye on my screen. Trent Bennett was having a bit of a battle there, got some passes happen, then he just got a shoulder barge off the edge of the track there at the last corner and into the tyre bundle, but I didn't see didn't pick who he was battling with there.
I do have data on that, but before I go to that, I just want to shout out the epic battle that Stefan Adams and John. It's been a long season. I'm getting names mixed up. I had Stefan in my head and I almost said McCartan, but when I was saying Jono's name, Stefan has a big side there. But the battle that Stefan Adams and Jono Gibson have been having, and for a few laps there, Jono was looking very much stronger in the first part of the lap and able to put the move around the outside of that previous corner on a few consecutive laps. As he goes wide there, that's going to get Stefan back involved. And Stefan's been very much stronger in the second part of the lap and had been able to, on a couple of occasions, get back past at the end of the straight. It was just on that previous lap that Jono was able to do enough to hold him off there, and that gave him that advantage. I think potentially triggered Stefan to try and push it a little bit harder to stay in touch when he got back to this part of the track, and probably just forced that mistake that saw him drop back. But damage limited a little bit by the fact that Jono made his own mistake as well. And I do have the data of Trent Bennett having a little moment out there. So it's Quinn Wilson that is side by side with a little bump there. Stays side by side into the final corner. Was there contact in that one? I don't think there was contact in the last part of that, was there?
I think it was just carried too much speed and wasn't able to bring the car back into control.
Yeah, I think just trying a little bit too eager to get the power down and set up the switchback at the last corner there, and just squeezed it a little bit too hard and fired him hard left, unfortunately.
6 laps of Gen 2 to go, folks. How good. This race has given us everything.
So I saw earlier, and I'm sure you might have spoken about it, but just in case anyone's missed it and joined in late, did we have a bit of a natter about some previous winners and some statistics of Supercars NZ and all those the bits and pieces of laps and stuff that the guys have turned during these Gen 2?
There's the Gen 2 eulogy will happen at the end of the race. Got a little bit of something to read out. I'm going to make it emotional. We're just going to have to imagine the dramatic music in the background. But I'll give it a big shot.
Soundtrack of Final Post or something.
Okay, I don't think that's the right one. But 5 laps to go now. So lap 23 of 28. Is my maths okay?
Yeah.
Yep, well,
Yeah.
five laps after this one, 6 including this one.
How funny would it be as if the Foreman stopped before the end of the race and milked it for that extra 10 minutes, eh? Turn around and start going backwards or something crazy.
Well, someone's got to put it on their lid. I will not be satisfied if I don't see that tonight.
There's always high hopes that that'll be Leon.
He was one of the ones that piped up and said he'd do it, so we have to keep an eye on that. He's actually having not a bad race, so started quite far back and up 16 spots into P6. So
Yeah, he was outside of the top 10 at the start of this race, I'm sure.
He was. He had a bit of an off there at the end of the first race and put him well off the pace.
Started P22 this race, so commanding race. And I saw a comment from Mr. Pickering there earlier on the Pits Production chat, which I can't scroll up on because I'm watching Shane's view, not my view. That's embarrassing. That's like trying to zoom in on a vegetable packet by doing the old pitch screen thing and realising it's not right.
Wow, where did that go?
When you learn you need glasses and technology doesn't exist in everything that you pick up with your hands. Scott Pickering made a comment earlier saying it doesn't really matter too much where you qualify or how you start the race. It's race consistently and cleanly will allow you to have a good finishing result. So couldn't agree more with that one, Scotty. I think it was a bit further up than that, so it's probably fallen off the chain there. It was definitely before the fuel chat there. Don't know. So, but yeah, that was I saw that sitting there earlier, and I thought, yeah, no, that's bang on. So
We love a bit of online debate in the chat section. But Jonesy and Scott having a talk about that incident we've seen on the back straight there with the 4 cars. So, yeah, always good to see everybody's opinion, and everyone's allowed their opinion. Into a pose, well, they're going to be dead soon. So, hold on for my eulogy coming up.
oh, thanks, Scotty.
I just want to point out that after I regathered myself after Doug's little blonde moment there, I realised that while he can't scroll up on my feed, I can certainly scroll up for him. Took me a minute to realise that, but I was pretty I did have to regather myself.
Going, yeah, that'd be really good if I could scroll that up. That was a moment. That there is my ADHD at full simmer.
Oh, Leon going a bit deep there. Epic battle with Michael Gunstone at the moment, though.
And add in, too much maple syrup, Doug, and that is a recipe for disaster.
That and the Red Bulls.
Yeah, I'm at full fizz.
Fizzing at the bung, one would say. Oh yes.
I'm actually surprised I'm still here, to be fair.
I've heard you yawn a couple of times.
Oh, no.
It forced me to yawn.
No, I wasn't yawning. No, I've been actually eating a frozen slushy thing.
Oh, but keeping cool on these Canterbury hot summer days. Hasn't been hot.
Sure has.
It's something cool you did bring up in the Discord. KSR are holding a get-together down in Timaru at Hoss Racing, which is a simulator business on the main street in Timaru, and run by an awesome bloke by the name of Hamish. I haven't actually met him in person, but
Yeah,
he was involved in our Enduro last year, Doug, which you'll remember. But yeah, so it's a chance to go and check out the facility and come down to Timaru if any Supercars NZ members are keen to get over to the event. The KSR put it out there to the other communities to come down and have a bit of a tournament.
Yeah, so that's Matthew Pluck or Matt Pluck was putting that together. So if you have been struggling trying to find some of those, that's certainly a way that you can banter around some of us here, and we'll try and point you in the right direction on how to contact them. But that'll be a good one, and even if you're not so much into into the racing car side of things, but you want to hang out with race car people and enjoy swinging clubs instead. I think they've even got a couple of some golf simulator setups down there, so there should be enough to keep everyone entertained in between some lovely food and beverage for the night. But yeah, never turn down an opportunity if you've got the chance to go and catch up with some of those people within the sim community that we often get the pleasure of hearing each other's sultry tones here via the broadcast, and realise that 95% of us do have a Facebook radio.
Yeah. Just before we get to the end of this one, I want to point out 3 teammates in a row here, but you might notice Ross Watson's car looks a little bit different. I don't know if it quite qualifies as a retro livery, but certainly a throwback livery from Misfits. I think that's their very first livery. The old red and white Festive Foods Misfits livery, and Ross is running that, and Scott McKenzie also running that tonight, I guess as a little bit of a tribute to where their team began in Gen 2 before they see that car out, and we'll see a brand spanking new livery for these guys on the Gen 3. Hopefully they get that ready in time for the start of the Summer Series.
Very good, yes, and also people who are taking a bit of a head nod to Gen 2, some people who we often find racing in one particular car because that's what they think is cool when it's not. Andrew Johnson Racing had stepped away from running in the poo stang the other day to drag out the infamous and glorious Commodore with the throwback livery on there as well. So that was a cool bit of a thing to see. As our man Darren Lobb comes through the field to take P1 here in the second race tonight. Bruce Tannock hot on the heels, not too far behind him. Roger Forbert with we've got Peter Vanderberg taking out spot number 3 over Roger Forbert. And then we've got Michael Gunstone started 5th, finished for Leon Ware. Massive run up through the field to finish 6th. Quid Wilson, Glenn Collinson there for 7 and 8. Scott McKenzie bringing across the line in 9, and Dion de Graaf. Nice recovery after that unfortunate early wee bump off to finish in 10. Steve Darren, another Jigsaw Racing member, 11th. Jono Gibson, the 666, across at 12th. There's Stefan Adams, our man from Simblacks Racing. He is Mr. Simblacks. Across the line there in 13th. Rick Upset in the PSR car. Last few corners for him. Just holding Eamon Young off to finish there in P14, 15th for Eamon. And we've also had some people who were just already lapped through the field. Dan Nolan, Ross Watson, Aaron Goodrick had already finished the race due to their position on track behind the lead car. So thank you very much for the drivers tonight for getting stuck in with that. As a wild Leon come into the broadcasting lounge and flashed us his nipples and then disappeared again.
Stefan Adams did his best to get it on its roof. Well, that's it. It's Gen 2. It's time to say goodbye. Can you believe it's been 1,697 days since the announcement of Supercars NZ Season 1 back in 2020? So that was round about April 2020, I've worked it out to be, and a lot of scrolling through the community Facebook page to find a lot of this stuff, and it's just rough estimates. So with
how many days was that?
1,697 days since round about the 20th of April 2020. Wow. So that was obviously, we're in a lockdown at that stage, and racing went pretty hot there for a few months. It was almost racing 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. So with over 230 main events with more than 10,000 laps, we've had enough racing to fill a lifetime. Who knew we'd be burning rubber for 17-ish seasons? This is with Gen 2, so it's been the stable mate of Supercars NZ for a very long time, since its inception. and I was lucky enough to be around at that point in time to see how it all kicked off, and where it's got today is credit to just pure keeping on it and just keeping the races going. That's kept the people coming back. I've gone a little bit off track, but some multiple. We've got a few winners here. So Kyle George, multiple winner. Darren Lobb, Rehan. I'm not going to go. Anyway, Bruce Tannock, Mike Robinson, William Van Rensburg as well also pops up there. It was very hard to find a lot of the data, but and also the countless Monday night special events that Gen 2 gifted us. I mean, where else could I have snagged my first ever win at Bathurst? Supercars NZ, and that'll forever be etched in my memory as a great victory that day. The multiple attempts at a Bathurst 1000 that went pear-shaped. And but yeah, here's to the memories, the laughs, and meeting all the good buggers that I have over the last 4 years of Gen 2, because it's definitely been a ride, and the ride's going to go into a Gen 3 as of tomorrow, and Gen 2 will never be forgotten. So raise a trophy or a glass, whatever you want, get amongst it. That was my eulogy for Gen 2.
Perfect stuff, mate. And no final words could have been spoken there in the eulogy. And although Gen 2 dies, a lot of the original people that got us here with Supercars NZ certainly lives on, and are very much looking forward to getting Gen 3 underway. I see our board of people growing in size down there, mate, Shane. So we can't be too far away from picking another random winner, as long as we take Mr. Zapasich out of the current one.
I think we got 18.
Yep,
Did Aaron finish the race?
I think we had 20. Looked like Jason and Derek had finished.
Yep.
Trent looked like he had retired a few laps early.
Yeah, going 20 as well. We just need to take out
P14.
Yep, so delete that one. And then we can bring that up. And we can hit that. And we can see what it comes up with. Number
You're gonna be leaving again. Oh.
Down to graph.
Well, we might as well do the third one as well. We've got one more.
Yep, so we're doing that as a wheel as well, or are we doing the wow moment?
As a wow moment. I mean, we certainly did say wow a few times.
We did.
Yeah, but I don't know if there was anything really that was worthy of the wow. I mean, that incident that happened, and is there somebody that was just unlucky in that incident? Let's just give it to one of those guys that played no part in any of that.
Well, do you know what? I think probably the most unlucky person in that was probably Jono Gibson. Unfortunately, getting that last wee tangle tap from McNamara, and that sent him splating into the wall. So that could be my nomination for the wow moment.
I'd have to just jump on that and go Dr. Death can take that. I think that he was an innocent bystander and someone else's shenanigans. So, yeah, we'll shout him a Gen 3 car, I reckon. What do you reckon, Shane?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a pretty good idea. So we can have a look at what we're talking about. Probably gone from a little bit far back in the slow motion, but that's alright. We can speed it up and then...
Oh, there we go. Well, there we go. I thought my 88D was really gone off the grid there for a minute, but no, it was just Jersey out. Shane was still in slow-mo.
Alright, we'll grab the slow motion from here. So
yeah, so just ahead of this, we've had Macca and a couple others redressing as an Aaron Goodrick's coming wide off the left-hand side of the track. A few people checking up, and just ahead we will see a bit of a tip or tangle between a PSR car, a Sean McNamara, an Emin Young, and then the unlikely victim of Jono Gibson, who was just trying to make his way through without getting in anyone's way and just gets absolutely nailed
Like
right
mentioned,
about there.
Oh,
yeah, that's definitely a worthy recipient. I guess he's going to be getting himself a Mustang, hopefully, not that ugly Camaro. But I can't judge it either way. I just like to see them racing together, and I'm really looking forward to that. And next week, I'm not sure if the awards night's still happening on Tuesday, but something will be happening for Mad Week. But of course, Wednesday, we're going to go down Mount Washington in the Gen 3 cars to see how well they go with that minimum amount of fuel. And we're going to just donate the entries all to the Cancer Society. So I haven't really done much of a push. It's been a bit of a hectic, been too hot to be inside. That's, yeah. So I'll definitely try and get some more out, and that'll still be happening on next Wednesday, the 18th, and that'll be live streamed, and hopefully that we get a few entries in and come and have some fun. Just end of the year, pick something that's just sort of happened without a lot of effort. So yeah, let's just all have a bit of fun. That's what it's about, and us commentators can all have a go as well. I figured even if Shane or you're streaming, you can still do it downhill. We'll just have an in car with you. I think it'd
Yep.
be a bit of fun.
We can definitely do that. Hey, I was wondering, should we have a quick look at maybe seeing if the couple of our winners of the Gen 3 want to have a quick yarn with us, hear about winning that tonight and what they're looking forward to most about next season.
yeah, I can get behind that.
Cool. What I'll do is I see Jono there, I see Dion there and Zuppy there. I'll drag them all into the waiting room and hopefully they understand what's happening.
So while Doug's doing that, I can confirm that Dion has checked in the comments section. Hell yeah, thanks boys. So we did say earlier that the second race winner had to be in the comment section, and Dion did check in there, and so that's cleared all that up. So Dion's going to be getting himself a Gen 3 car, and Sean McNamara is going to be paying the bills for that. How's it going, Sean?
Yeah, I'll be better. Be better.
Rough night at the orifice, my friend.
Yeah, that is so better. It's cool because I've got like 18 guys down in the chat just going through the incidents. There's a lot of this and a lot of that going on, so it's cool. This is what I enjoy. I did enjoy the race, but yeah, enjoy this side of it. It's cool.
And your last
Oh,
race for a little bit
God.
on our main events, of course,
Who's
you're going to
doing
be
that?
taking the reins as the race control for next season.
Yes, yep. So obviously, big stuff happening next season. It's into our summer series, so it's either hit and miss with numbers. I'm doing race control. We've got a demerit point system coming in for the actual whole league to keep drivers. There's a lot of stuff that went on in tonight's race that would be getting demerit points against their driving because it needs to be more consistent. And myself included. So yeah. And don't try and readdress on the racing line, guys, because that causes accidents.
So what I've got, Sean, is I've got 3 of our lucky winners of the new Gen 3 car on the house from Supercars Engines. I'm going to bring them in and let them know the good news.
Oh, that's it. A big thanks to Allports for letting this happen. Sweet as. Ooh,
I don't even think we did that this stream actually. There was so much going on. The racing was just, it was
and
not.
Dion.
Yeah, so the 3 lads, we've got one Chris Uppersich, one Dion DeGraff, and one Jono Gibson. All tonight will be proud winners of a Camaro.
Might be a Mustang there, mate.
Oh, or a Mustang.
Didn't you read the fine print, Dion? Didn't you read the fine print, Dion? It has to be a good car that you buy.
Good car's finished though.
New BMW coming out. Lucky you'll be on that.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. You guys were all 2 of you were picked via random wheel, and Jono, you were given it as part of our moment, and that was when you were ungraciously taken out by Sean McNamara after he had tried to keep it off the wall.
That was pretty hectic, that.
That's my name. That name again is Mr. Cloud.
One more time for Gen 2.
Okay.
Well, I don't agree with that assumption of your commentators. I think you need to brush up on your racecraft.
No, he was an innocent bystander in other people's shenanigans, so that was fair. And we said, wow, that was definitely a wow moment.
Well,
All three of us.
like a Minty's moment almost, guys.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it's a moment like these, we need minties.
So we'll take a quick opportunity to ask Chris. Chris, next season, planning on signing up, or have we just given away 15 iRacing credits for that?
Yeah, I'll be ready.
What a guilt trip! Don't take that, Chris. You don't have to take that.
Go to a Tito Corsa, actually.
Bribing people on the grid since way back.
That's how we keep people coming back.
Yeah.
Gen 3 thoughts, feelings. What do you got going on in your head about it for next season?
Well, next season I think the worm will turn, won't it? We'll be Erebus. We'll be doing it.
That's it. We'll be all test subjects.
Are you a Barry or a Betty? No.
What's
Are you a Barry or a Betty? We're going full Erebus. Which way are you going? You ragey or you just lovable?
Betty. I'm sure I want to put on it. I'll be Betty.
You're the lovable one. We'll take that.
Yeah,
We'll take that.
Hugs and kisses.
Very good. And
I'd rather hugs and kisses from Barry, let alone Betty.
Yeah, mentally here. I know who I'd rather roll over looking at.
Barry?
Anyway.
Yeah, I'd want to have that. Dion, you've been around the iRacing scene for a while. You're a bit of a dab hand at quite a few racing cars out there. You don't do too badly when you're out there when Mr. Tannock's not feeding you off into the fences. How do you think Gen 3 is going to go for you?
Gen 3 might go alright, unless I go into a fence again, like normal. But other than that, all good.
Cool.
It'll be interesting with no ARBs, as you know, I adjust them every lap to make it better.
Nice. Certainly it was a big thing for the boys in the real life. Obviously, they were just having to make three setting changes to the brake balance, and they sort of tried to use that to their advantage as much as they could. But yeah, certainly going back to a bit more of a raw, basic form of racing.
Yes, 100%.
It's going to be a learning curve, eh?
Yep.
Oh, look, as you see Dion just get dead.
Absolutely.
Slow-mo replay.
Poleaxed by...
I got a 4X for that. So he
the
clipped my car
the
for
braking
some
zone.
Yeah.
We were... Yes, we had some flashbacks to some kind words that you've shared in the past, Dion, and wondered how you might have been feeling at that during that Minty's moment as you were sent graciously across the sand.
Don't really want another band, so kind of minding my P's and Q's, to be fair.
and look how you've matured over the years as well.
Peter beat me.
So
yes.
And Jono, not too long racing with us here in the Gen 2. You looking forward to Gen 3, or are you sort of going, oh my god, now I've got a brand new car to try and learn, or are you looking forward to it because everyone's going to be balanced?
Bit of both. It's taken me probably the last 2 seasons. I've kind of felt like I'm getting comfortable in these cars, and now it's all changing again, but it's changing for everyone. So yeah, see how we go.
Very good.
John, I just want a quick mention before you stop. You have finished, regardless of penalty points, P8 in the championship. Yeah, in the Allports championship. So not bad for your very first step up from Div 2 to Div 1. And
where did Luke Allman end up?
He didn't. Wow, he's down in 11th. Did he race tonight?
No, he didn't. He was in the comments wishing Jono well. So both of them have impressed me this season, I have to say, being the 2 rookies. And it looks like Jono, you've taken out the rookie of the season, I guess.
Oh, epic.
Yeah, that's an impressive effort, mate. Well done.
Oh, cheers for that. No, it's been cool. It's definitely a different beast to Div 2 for sure.
Yeah, the guys don't give you the spot, do they?
No, they don't. Not at all.
Especially me blocking hard.
If you want to know a wee secret on how to go faster, Jono, there's a very small but elite group of guys here that have visited the allports.nz page and got themselves some Sparko Gaming gloves and boots, and apparently that's good for a 2.5 lap.
Oh, sweet! I've just got
At
the
least.
old tradie work socks, so that'll be a nice upgrade, eh?
There you go.
Cool.
So anyone out there, big thanks to Allports for looking after us for the Supercars NZ season once again, and certainly go and check them out, allports.nz. They've got a few things there that you might tickle your fancy, and you might be able to ask Santa to put under the Christmas tree, or failing that, just ask for forgiveness for your wife on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Can't. I'm not getting involved in this. No, not having anybody else's wife chasing me with a bloody weapon.
There we go. No, thanks very much, lads. We're certainly looking forward to seeing you guys getting behind the wheel of the Gen 3 cars, and also to see how you may fare bringing on a new lot of racing on Thursday nights as well, as we step into the GTE class of GT racing.
Yeah, and how good is the lineup of tracks? So week 1, Le Mans, we go to Sebring, we go to Suzuka, we go to Daytona Road, Road America, Watkins Glen, Algrave, Road Atlanta, Laguna Seca, Imola, Detroit, and Monza. So they are all awesome tracks for that car. It's going to be epic.
It's going to be some awesome racing. Looking forward to the change in dynamics there. Moving up, as Shane said, to some cars that have got a little bit more aero, a bit more power, and should lead to some rather exciting racing. So, looking very much forward to having all of our regulars getting in behind that. And if you're interested in coming and proving them wrong on how slow they are, you can sign up for racing with us. Have a look on the community page. You can find our next season sign up sheet. We've got that happening at the moment, and if you think
Daytona Road on Thursday for the final HPR race.
Yep, we are, and I actually have a little bit of a background picture sitting here, which I can't bring up, but I can mention the current standings.
Dun, dun, dun.
Current standings for the GTP after round 8 with one more round to go, and I will be publishing these into the Discord shortly. But currently,
Hang on, let me guess.
Leading the GTP,
Stephen
leading
McCartan?
the GTP is in second place.
Really?
He is.
How does
Nico
that work?
Cordia.
Stefan did miss a race, didn't he?
He missed 2 races.
That's right.
So Nico?
Leading, Nico is in 3rd.
Oh. Jack then.
Jack Hunt's 444 points to Stephen McCartan's 420 to Nico Cordia's 378. The other guys in there are quite a wee way off. They certainly wouldn't be in contention for the podium, but a head nod to Louis Robertson for going and taking a few laps out there, Andrew Uden, and also Taylor Mitchell for the season. So yes, the GTP car not being as popular this season round, but still good to see that some of our fast guys who moved up from the GT3 doing really well. So I would say as long as Jack turns up and races in the final race, he's probably got that one under control. And stepping over to our GT3s, did anyone like to have a guess at who may be P1 in the GT3 field?
Lobby?
Darren Lobb.
Commanding a lead of 555 points. But
at 547th behind him in spot number 2 would go to...
Nico Skulls.
Nope. We have... No, surprisingly, he's
Quinn
down in
Wilson.
5th. Is down in 7th spot.
Blaki.
Is in 3rd at 483.
So we've got one other driver I can't think of right now.
Someone who has recently rejoined running after a wee staycation, but from a few seasons ago when Shane and I were racing in there as well, these two were almost inseparable race after race.
I'm drawing a blank. I think you need to just tell us we haven't got all night.
Leith Sweeney.
Oh, of course.
Leith Sweeney, yeah.
Yeah, so that's our top 3. So Leith in position where he could upset Darren on the final race. If Darren were to not turn up, obviously, Blake a little bit too far behind to jump onto those. So looking like again provisional standings moving forward, it would be Darren over Leith over Blake being our championship roundup there.
And we're going to have to make sure that we get some onboard GTP pit stops on the stream on Thursday, because they have a very exciting update coming, and it's going to be our only chance to catch the bump starts on the GTPs.
And for those at home who may be thinking, what on earth is a bump start? Does that mean someone's going to get in behind it with a golf cart and give it a nudge? What does that mean?
Well, they've almost got their own little built-in golf cart that's going to give them a nudge. So obviously the GTPs are a full hybrid system. So much like if you've got a hybrid and a modern hybrid in the garage where you can drive it off on the electric battery, and then the ICE will kick in once you get over a certain speed. The GTP cars in real life can drive into the pit lane, shut off their engine, drive off on electric power, and then once they get up to speed, their ICE will kick in, and that kicks in with a very satisfying sound, and iRacing have now recreated that ready to go in tomorrow's update, so that should be available on Thursday night.
Wicked. that certainly does sound very cool.
Good. It's good.
It's going to be good. Hey, do you know what else is going to be good? You know, it's probably going to be the one thing that McNamara will never want set up in any of his races, is the fact that with welcoming Gen 3, we also welcome wet tyres to the V8 field.
Well, has that been officially confirmed? We're assuming, but has that been officially confirmed? I mean, surely they're not going to bring out a new car without them, but
I thought the two would have gone hand in hand for a new release.
You would assume so, but we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out, won't we?
Here we go.
Anyway, I think we've already sat here talking garbage for far too long. It's time to say thank you, Allports, for sponsoring the season, and they have come on board for another season in the summer season, so that's very cool. Thank you, Napa Auto Parts, sponsor of the Broadcast Lounge, also our weekly sponsor this week. They didn't give us anything to give away tonight, so hopefully Leon can make sure they make up for that on Thursday.
They do plenties.
Absolutely, they do plenty, and that was very much tongue-in-cheek. Thank you, Doug and Corey, for joining me tonight. I had to step in to cover Doug because he wasn't quite going to be available to start the stream in time.
Appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Can confirm just quickly, Formula V and all 5 new cars all rain ready. So the Acura NSX, BMW M2, the Ferrari 499P, the Supercars Chevrolet Camaro Gen 3, Supercars Ford Mustang Gen 3, and yeah, so there's a couple of new tracks. So no Pukekohe confirmed in what I'm reading. So just the season highlights is all I've got there. So look at that. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I did read a comment on Facebook that that Pukekohe has been put on the back burner for now. I'm not sure where this person's getting his information, but seemed to be very well informed. So yeah, potentially we might be waiting a little bit longer than expected to get Pukekohe, unfortunately, but it is still coming. And yeah, thanks to everybody at home for tuning in again. That's it for Gen 2 in the Supercars. We will see you on Thursday night for the final HPR race at Daytona. And then we'll see you a couple of times in Mad Week, I'm sure, and then we'll do it all again with some new exciting stuff going on in the summer series, kicking off with the Gen 3 Supercars on Christmas Eve of all days. So we are very much looking forward to that, and we will see you all then. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Ho ho ho.